The morning of the 25th of February, one of my contacts from the Chin ethnic community in Kuala Lumpur called me about a raid that had just happened at an apartment complex in the middle of the night. When I arrived, residents were still in shock. Between 50 and 100 immigration officers and police arrived last night, one of the residents told me. They went from apartment to the apartment asking to see everyone's documents. It went on from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. At least 100 people were arrested. I was introduced to the uncle of 20-year-old Dat Chung. The young man had arrived in Malaysia 2 years earlier after fleeing abuse from the Burmese military. I was the one who had to take care of him and look out for him, the uncle had said. He anticipated his nephew would be in detention for 3 to 4 months and then deported back to Myanmar. Then he said, "We live in fear of being arrested. We live in fear all the time." We walked up one floor, knocked on the door, and a man let us into the apartment. The apartment was hot and narrow with 2 or 3 rooms, stale air, claustrophobic, yet clean. He took me to one of those rooms and pointed out a large hole in the ceiling, then proceeded to tell me the story of a young woman who managed to evade the raid but was injured. She was staying in this small room, he said. They were banging on the door to the apartment downstairs. Eventually, they broke the door and then broke the doors to many of our apartments. She was so scared of being arrested, she climbed up into the ceiling and hid there until after they left. After they left, she fell through the ceiling. This is the hole that she fell through. Just a week earlier, another raid, this time at a factory outside of Kuala Lumpur, resulted in several people being arrested and put into Langang Detention Center, including a 24-year-old woman and mother from the Chin community. I'm sitting in front of the woman's husband and 6-year-old son in their 2-room apartment. There's no furniture, just a few thin mattresses rolled up in the corner. Since my wife was arrested and put in detention, the man tells me, my son is in a very dark place. He cries all the time. He never leaves my side. And for the hour or so that I spent with him, the young boy never left his father's side. All I think about is finding a way to get her out of detention. They sentenced her to 10 months, and I don't know for what reason, but it is too long. She shares a room with 13 other people, and she is the only one who speaks Burmese, so she has no one to talk with. Now I can't contact her, so I am so worried about her every day. Several other trips occurred over Malaysia, and I would meet people from most of the ethnic communities in Burma, all living in fear of arrest. And for me, the hole in the ceiling, the stare from that 6-year-old boy, and the loss in the voice of his father came to represent life of migrants and asylum seekers from Burma in Malaysia for me. The measures they would take to avoid detention and the trauma of families separated because of detention. In many ways, Malaysia set the tone for the next 4 years of this project, which would be the United States.